Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and China's State Councilor Yang Jiechi have kicked off the second U.S.-China Climate Smart Low-Carbon Cities Summit in Beijing. Our reporter Wang Hui has the story.
Hundreds of representatives from nearly 50 Chinese cities and 20 cities from the U.S. are taking part in the second U.S.-China Climate Smart Low-Carbon Cities Summit. The U.S. Secretary of State, John Kerry, spoke at the event to remind people about the impact that climate change will have on cities.
It is an inescapable fact that cities are going to be in the eye of the climate change storm. Why? Because more people live in urban areas today than rural, and that has never happened before in our lives. And by 2050, 2 out of every 3 people on Earth will live in cities. Second, fully 90% of major cities, 90%, are situated along inland or coastal waterways, making them particularly at risk for storm surges and for sea level rise.
Cities are the engines of a modern-day society. More than half of the world's population live in urban homes. Cities are also responsible for about 70% of the world's greenhouse gases and are more likely to be affected by climate change. Back in 2014, Chinese President Xi Jinping and U.S. President Barack Obama issued a joint statement on climate change. Both countries then initiated this event last year in Los Angeles, aiming to strengthen cooperation in fighting climate change. During the event last year, 11 provinces and cities from China and 18 states and cities from the U.S. promised to try and cut carbon emissions. 2 countries decided to take the opportunity to deepen cooperation and strengthen ties to fight climate change together. This year, China's State Councilor Yang Jiechi urged more cities and counties to do the same.
China and the United States, with the complementary nature of our research abilities and our expertise in different fields, there should be a marriage of our expertise. There will be a further meeting of the minds to make sure that the smart cities will be the start-ups. The smart cities will climb to the summit to make sure that there will be a broad horizon opening up for the younger generations.
The summit has become a platform for multiple public and private sectors to learn from each other to achieve sustainable economies of tomorrow. Nearly 30 cooperative programs have been signed across governments, businesses, and research organizations. Wang Hui, CCTV, Beijing.